Today we'll be taking a look at what we think will be the best choice for each specialization option based on the available information we have from BlizzCon. To start off, we'll take a look at which race is the best for tanking. As you can see from the base stats, everything seems even on the surface, with Undead getting a tad more mana and Orcs getting a tad more health. The biggest differences then, obviously, are the racials, and looking at them a clear pattern emerges. Between the two for tanking, Will of the Forsaken is a very powerful option, becoming a 2-minute built-in fear ward, but that is basically all the Undead have to offer. The extra base mana they get is negated by life tap, gaining 100% more mana in Metamorphosis, or the lesser used Dark Pact, and their plus 10 Shadow Resist is only worth talking about to point out it's entirely useless and will never matter. Plus, with the changes to the PvP ranking system they proposed, getting your class trinket will be easier than ever. It's something like an estimated 13 honor kills at level 25 to afford it, but even if they don't change the class trinkets to remove all CC like in TBC and beyond, the PvP Warlock class trinket can cover the possible future fear-intensive fights tanks may face. Adding all that up, however, makes Orcs particularly interesting because between the various anti-fear effects like Fear Ward, Trinket, or Tremor Totem, they also have a 25% stun resist from the Orc racial, which you literally cannot get anywhere else in the game unless they add new items. Realistically, both are fine, but we would have to give the modest edge to Orc as a tank for the 25% stun resist and slightly higher base HP, plus the small pet damage buff for the Soul Link tank builds. Unfortunately for the DPS side of things, it doesn't look much better for Undead fans. Based on the PR info released at BlizzCon via interviews and presentations, it seems like some Warlock DPS specs will actually want to have their pet out and attacking, and with that, Orc takes the theoretical lead for all pet-based builds because of the 5% pet damage ratio, but pet sacrifice-based builds are more even, with the choice being what you choose for more open-world options, like Cannibalize to reduce downtime, or which CC you want more protection from in PvP, stuns or fear. There is one big floating issue, however, they haven't confirmed, which is which version of Blood Fury they will release with. If they release with the updated version that gives you spell power instead of attack power for casters, Orc will hands down become the de facto Warlock DPS race for every spec, with Undead really falling behind. Having 25% stun resist built-in spell power trinket, and 5% pet damage, Undead will be leaving some serious damage potential on the table to basically gain Will of the Forsaken. PvP is actually a lot easier choice to make, just based on which CC you'd rather gain protection against. Warlock vs Warlock fights will be insanely easier as Undead because of Will of the Forsaken, plus rare edge case usage of Cannibalize during World PvP or Battlegrounds for a quick top-off after a hard fight, or even possibly during the hard fight as a Hail Mary heal. However, pivoting to Orcs again, the 25% stun resist against Rogues and Druids combined with the new Metamorphosis is again an extremely hard thing to recommend Undead over Orc. Soul Link Nightfall Metamorphosis Warlocks are going to be absolutely disgusting and will probably be nerfed at some point, and Orc has basically everything you'd want to support that build with its various racials, even without the updated Blood Fury. Running Soul Link Nightfall with Fell Pup out and Metamorphosis rune, Master Channeler rune, and whatever leg rune you prefer will dominate so many things by just shrugging off damage and dispelling magic-based things like CCs or dots, and having a 25% chance to resist stun, while having a potential also burst damage ratio, and your pet deals more damage stacking with all your extra pet damage talents. With that, again, we have to recommend Orc. In conclusion, sadly for us Undead fans, when you look at the cold hard facts, Orcs are going to be the go-to race for Warlocks when you're min-maxing, we believe, regardless of what mode you plan to play in. Even without the change Blood Fury, Orcs offer a lot to complement the Warlock toolkit and the proposed rune toolkit. However, this is only if you plan on actually min-maxing your character. As always, if you don't care about any of this and you like the flavor of one race over the other for the various quest lines, faction cities, etc., just go with that race then. But if everyone min-maxes, maybe that means Undead will receive a racial overhaul if 95% of the Warlock population is Orcs.